Thank you to Brian Murphy sitting in for yesterday's show, but I wasn't going to miss the Friday before the Super Bowl, and I darn sure wasn't going to miss the chance to talk about whatever that Canes game was last night. I felt like I was either dreaming, maybe under the influence of something. I felt like there was a fever dream going on yesterday watching that Canes game.
Thought I had a little too many storm brews at PNC Arena. I mean, I got flashbacks of going back as a fan before I went as media.
Let's just take a quick kind of perusal. That's the fastest I've ever used perusal in a show. Let's take a quick perusal through some of the things that happened for the Canes game last night. Martin Necas became the second player in Canes history to have a natural hat trick in the first period. Took him just under 17 minutes. 3-0. Martin Necas went bananas. I actually tweeted out, this is how I didn't know what was coming. Martin Necas, what a fun night. I thought it was fun. A natural hat trick that early. Here's Necas on getting his first hat trick. 1 second, says Graham. It was everything was bouncing his way, right? Necas is a player who's had his ups and downs this year, and he just had an up and up and an up, and it felt like it was one of those games. We've had him against the Golden Knights. We've watched the Canes have him against the Rangers, where it's just like everything's going to go their way. That was not the case, but it's still fun to have a hat trick. Here's the comments from Necas.
Yeah, I mean, I waited long enough, and just kind of, hoping to get one soon. So it was nice, good start of the game. Obviously, then we got two back, and it's kind of a tight game, but yeah, it feels nice. It's always nice to get ahead here with the win, and it was nice.
So it was nice. Pyotr Kochetkov, let's go to his, role in the festivities. Starts in goal, allowed 2 goals in the final 30 seconds of the first period, including an absolutely inexcusable goal, the second one, just about 5 seconds after the first. This is Pyotr Kochetkov, who is expected to be depended upon for a cup run, right? He has played the best, most consistent goal for the Canes this year, and he was expected to play a massive role. And he was benched in the second period. Here's Rod Brind'amour talking about taking Kochetkov out.
No, I just I don't know. You could go either way. Let him play it out, but. Just decided let's get Rance in there. Plus, we wanted to kind of play Rance anyway. We were on the fence because he'd been out for so long. It was just kind of, so it was all right. Just to change things up, and Rance played really well. Unfortunately, though, he got hurt.
That's the situation they're in with goal. Yeah, I don't know. That describes their situation with their goalies. Yeah, I don't know.
It is what it is at this point.
Then Ranta, who went in for Kochetkov, gets hurt, doesn't come back out for the third. Kochetkov has to come back into the game. Spencer Martin, who's played 1 game for the Canes, is supposedly back in the locker room fully dressed, just waiting to see how that goes. Now let's get to Seth Jarvis's. This is all going on at once. It's like one of those movies where there's 18 characters and you're following them all through the same event, and it's like, well, let's go back and see it through this person's perspective. Seth Jarvis blocked a shot with his palm, just like he's a goalie, like he's gonna make a glove save. Just boop, immediately takes off for the locker room. Just skates to the bench, hops out, sprints, runs to the locker room, and my first thought, right? Because I don't know, I've broken my hand before, and I know how it feels, and it's not good, and you feel it right away. I have 6 screws in my hand. I'm like, oh, he broke his hand.
Threw his gloves off immediately on the ice.
Just ran away, and I'm like, yep, been there, hurts a lot, broke his hand. Comes back into the game, makes one of the greatest hustle plays we've seen this season, where he just absolutely puts all the effort into to take away a goal. You can go back and find it on special or on YouTube or on social media, and so he goes from the guy that I was pretty confident was hurt to the guy who's making hustle plays and putting his body on the line. Then he comes back and scores an empty net goal after drawing a penalty on unevaded to the open cage play, and I'm going, this has everything.
Tell you what, I thought Marty Necas was fast. Dude, Seth got back. Like
Jar-
he was dusting
Jarvis
people.
can go, Chatfield can go, Natchez can go. They've got some speed on the roster. The penalty kill. How many times was the penalty kill going to be put out there and they just kept showing up? We're talking 6. Here's Rod Brind'amour on the penalty kill.
Kill was great. I mean, they had a couple chances, but with the talent they're throwing out there, really, if you look at it as a whole, to give up what we gave up over that stretch was pretty impressive. So you got to give our kill a lot of credit.
I would say so. So let's do the cliff notes real quick. You have a natural hat trick. You have 2 goals in 5 seconds. You have a goalie out, then a goalie in, then a goalie hurt. You have a whole bunch of crazy goalie stuff going on. You have one of your best players hurt, sprints to the locker room, comes back in, making hustle plays, scoring goals. I mean, all of this in one game. This is enough crazy stuff for a month. They get it in one game. Penalty kill is unreal. They win 5-2, which is the greatest potpourri, right? That is the Axe body spray in the middle school boys' locker room, which is no matter how bad it smells, if you spray some 5-2 on it, a 5-2 win over a good opponent, I mean, you still know what it was supposed to smell like, right? You still get a little bit of the stench, but it's like, you know what? It also kind of smells like thunderbolts of lightning, right? Whatever the Axe is called now. Confident thunder, right? Something along those lines. It doesn't make it better, but it makes it a little bit better, right? Still smells pretty darn bad, but there's a hint of something else on there. They won 5-2. Here's Rod Brind'amour on the overall game. Or not. Here's how it all breaks down, right? Here's how it all breaks down. A 5-2 win is a 5-2 win. You don't give them back. But they have more questions than not right now. In goal, after last night, if you don't go ahead and make a move for a goalie, then I will not hear your regrets later on. When there's a game last night, where it felt like Rod Brind'amour was making a statement by pulling Kochetkov, and it felt like the hockey universe was making a statement right back at him by taking Raanta out with the injury. When you have multiple statements being made about the fragility of your goalie or your goalie room or your goalie rotation, and you have a lineup of skaters, right, forwards and defensemen, that are good enough to win the cup, and you have multiple statements being made about your goalie, if you don't go take care of that, I'm not going to sit around when it comes back to bite you and go, oh, what bad fortune. If Raanta gets hurt in the postseason, I'm not going to say, oh, what bad fortune. If Pyotr Kochetkov has a cold streak in the postseason, I'm not going to say, oh, what bad fortune, because it's being illustrated to you right now. If we know it's going to happen or we know it's a possibility, it's not bad fortune when it happens. So explore all options. Is it Allen? Is it Fleury? Is it anyone else out there in goal? Explore all options. Pick the best one and solve it. You're setting yourselves up for regret if you have a night like last night and it doesn't put urgency in your front office. You won the game. That's great. Can you win a 7-game series? Right? You won the game. That's 5-2. Put the Axe body spray all over it. Make you think that it smells okay. But you saw what we saw, which is Pyotr Kochetkov having a brain freeze and giving up a cheap goal, and Raanta going out there and playing well but getting hurt. Those are the concerns for those guys. If you don't solve it, don't come crying to me.